Stop. Stop everything you're doing. This moment right here isn't meant to be another scroll, another distraction, another half-listened message. This one matters. Because what you do next decides whether you stay trapped in the noise of the world or break free into who you were truly meant to be. You've been trained to follow, to obey, to settle. The world sold you a map that leads nowhere. You were told to blend in, not stand out. To shrink, not shine. To wait your turn, not create your future. But what if that was never your path? What if everything you've been waiting for isn't waiting for you? It's hiding behind the very resistance you keep avoiding. You see, the world is loud. It screams distractions, opinions, fear. It celebrates mediocrity and mocks ambition. You were told to keep your dreams quiet, to stay in line, to be realistic. But realists rarely change the world, and silence doesn't build empires. There's a fire in you that the world tried to smother, not because you weren't capable, but because your potential made others uncomfortable. They couldn't handle your light, so they taught you to dim it. But that ends today. Today, you stop listening to the noise outside and start listening to the power within. The world will tell you you're too late, too inexperienced, too broken, too ambitious. They're wrong. Because inside you is a force that doesn't need validation. It only needs activation. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need applause to keep going. You don't need certainty to take the next step. You need hunger, relentlessness, grit, and those are built, not inherited. This life, it isn't for spectators. It's for creators, builders, believers, people who choose discipline over comfort, purpose over popularity, vision over noise. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will fall. Yes, people will doubt you. But none of that matters if you don't quit. The ones who make it aren't the ones with perfect plans. They're the ones who keep going when everything says stop. You'll be called crazy. Good. You'll be misunderstood. Perfect. Because greatness is never recognized in real time. You're not here to impress. You're here to impact. Not here to fit in. Here to break the mold. The clock is ticking, and your future is watching. And it's asking one question. Will you answer the call? Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Don't wait for courage to come. Act and courage will follow. Don't wait for support. Lead and support will find you. And most of all, don't wait for the world to believe in you. Force it to. By becoming so focused, so driven, so unstoppable, that nothing can ignore your rise. Start now. You've spent too many years doubting. Too many mornings hitting snooze on your dreams. Too many conversations where you played small to make others feel big. Enough. No more pretending you don't care. No more lying to yourself just to stay comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of your calling. You think your problem is lack of motivation. It's not. It's listening to the wrong voices. The world wants you tired, distracted, obedient. They hand you entertainment instead of purpose. They trade your hours for nothing but noise. But deep down, there's a version of you who's done with all of it. That version doesn't scroll for answers. He creates them. That version doesn't seek safety. He builds strength. And the only way to meet that version is to become him. Every action you take is a vote for the man you become. So stop casting votes for weakness. Start casting votes for excellence. You don't need a miracle. You need a routine. You don't need more time. You need more focus. Because the life you want is not waiting for you. It's hiding in your next disciplined decision. Wake up early. Train harder. Speak boldly. Read relentlessly. Think independently. That's how you build something unshakable. That's how you silence doubt, not by wishing it away, but by becoming undeniable. One choice at a time. The world will beg you to come back, to join the distractions, to numb the pain, To quit when it gets hard, don't. They can't understand your mission because it wasn't assigned to them. It was given to you. That's why it burns inside. That's why it keeps you up at night. That's why no matter how many times you've fallen, you keep rising. You weren't meant to fit in. You were born to rise, to lead, to rebuild the world from the inside out. So let the world talk. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Because while they talk, you work. While they doubt, you build. While they wait, you act. And in the end, when your results speak, even the loudest critics will go silent. You don't need to win the crowd. You just need to win the day. One day at a time. One step at a time. One choice at a time. And it all starts now. There's a war going on. Not outside, but inside. A war between who you are and who you're supposed to become. And every excuse, every delay, every moment wasted is a win for the enemy. You don't fight it with luck. You fight it with fire, with clarity, with action. You wake up every morning and choose to win the war again. You remind yourself no one is coming to save you. The rescue mission you've been waiting for, you are it. You are the strategy. You are the answer. Everything you need is already inside you, but it's buried beneath distractions, fear, and comfort. Dig. Discipline is the shovel. Gratitude is the anchor. Vision is the compass. And work deep, consistent, uncomfortable work is the path. Stop measuring your progress by how you feel. Measure it by how consistent you are when you don't feel like it. You won't always feel inspired, but discipline doesn't care how you feel. It just shows up. It just executes. It just wins. Because emotions are visitors, but your purpose is permanent. Remember this, the future is not given, it's built. And it's built by those who stop listening to the world and start listening to something greater. That greater voice isn't louder. It's just clearer if you get quiet enough to hear it. So mute the noise, cut the distractions, abandon the excuses. Your greatest self isn't found in comfort, it's forged in commitment. Keep walking. You're not late. You're right on time. But you must act now, because every moment wasted is another chance lost to become who you were destined to be. Be bold. Be disciplined. Be obsessed. And never, ever forget, you're not here to be like them. You're here to lead them. Let's begin. When others complain, you create. When others sleep, you sharpen your mind. While they follow trends, you build truth. That's why you will win. Not because it's easy, not because you're lucky, but because you chose to keep going when others gave up. You stayed in the fight. You believed when no one else did. You sacrificed popularity for purpose. And now, the world is about to see what happens when a man listens to something deeper than noise. This is not motivation. This is your mission. You're not chasing success. You're becoming it. Piece by piece, battle by battle, day by day. You've waited long enough. No more rehearsing. No more hiding. No more, almost. This is your hour. So speak the truth. Take the step. Do the work. Shock the world. And when they ask how you did it, just smile. Because you know the answer. You stopped listening to the world and finally listened to the voice within. Most people wake up reacting. Their first thoughts are borrowed, fears from the news, opinions from strangers, goals they never chose. They scroll, they compare, they drown. But not you. You wake up to command the day. You grab it by the throat and say, "This is my life and I will shape it." You're not here to be a spectator, you're here to be a force. A force that creates, that leads, that lives with ruthless intention. But the enemy is clever. It whispers comfort, distraction, compromise. It tells you to hit snooze one more time, to play it safe, to wait until you feel ready. But here's the truth. You'll never feel ready. You act or you rot. That's the law. So stop waiting for permission to become powerful. No one is coming to give you the green light. You are the light. You are the signal. You are the permission. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets to remember who you were before the world convinced you to settle. Start small. Stay consistent. Move forward. Because success doesn't happen in an explosion. It happens in the silence when no one is watching and you still choose discipline. That's when greatness is forged. Not in applause, but in solitude. Not in glory, but in grit. So build your inner empire before you ever try to conquer the world outside. The man who leads others must first lead himself. That's you. Let's go deeper. Every day, the world throws noise at you. Doubt, fear, distraction. It tells you what you should be, what you should chase, who you should become. But you weren't born to echo the world. You were born to be the signal. You were born to rise so high that their noise can't reach you. And it starts with one brutal decision. Stop being available to things that don't serve you. Stop answering every notification. Stop listening to voices that never built anything. Stop giving your energy to people who never earned it. This is the cost of greatness, selective focus. You protect your mind like it's sacred because it is. You guard your time like a treasure because it is. You only water the seeds that grow your future. Everything else must go. This is where the elite separate themselves. Not in talent, in discipline, not in luck. In boundaries, your life is a reflection of what you tolerate. Raise your standards and your life rises with it. The world will try to shrink you into a version that's easier to digest, but that's not your destiny. You weren't built for average. You were designed to be a disruptor of mediocrity, a destroyer of doubt, a builder of destiny. So build, even when it's boring, even when it's lonely, even when it's slow. That's when it counts the most. Because anyone can be excited in the beginning, but few stay focused in the silence. That's where you win. Win when no one is clapping. Win when it feels pointless. Win when the only voice cheering you on is your own. Because that's the training ground of the great. Pressure builds diamonds, but silence builds warriors. And you, my friend, are becoming both. You're not just chasing wealth, you're chasing control. Control over your mind, over your energy, over your decisions. This is the power they don't teach in school, but you're learning it now. You've stopped outsourcing your self-worth. You've stopped negotiating with weakness. You've stopped seeking comfort in chaos. And every time you do that, you win. Even if the world hasn't noticed yet. Even if your bank account hasn't caught up yet. Even if the results are still invisible. Because invisible work always becomes visible eventually. The question is, will you stay long enough to see it? Will you endure the silence? Will you master yourself when the world is screaming for your attention? That's what separates winners from watchers, builders from bystanders, champions from complainers. And if you've made it this far, you already know what side you're on. You're not here for motivation. You're here for transformation. And transformation hurts. It breaks old patterns. It exposes your excuses. It burns through laziness. But on the other side, a mind forged in fire. A life crafted with precision. A future that bends to your will not. One that drags you around by the collar. So take another step. Right now. Don't wait to feel like it. That feeling may never come. Move anyway. That's the power most never unlock, doing what must be done, especially when they don't feel like it. You've got that power. Now use it. Don't let the smallness of others shrink your vision. Don't let weak minds convince you that your ambition is too much. They say you've changed? Good. You were meant to. You're evolving, not apologizing. You're upgrading, not explaining. You're moving forward with ruthless clarity, and that confuses people stuck in loops. Let them be confused. Let them gossip. Let them doubt. While they talk, you build. While they scroll, you focus. While they wait, you act. This is the gap between dreamers and doers. You chose the harder path, the one without applause at every corner, the one that demands patience, persistence, and silence. But make no mistake, that path leads to the life they'll one day wish they had. Not because it was easy, but because it was earned. And you're an earner. You've stared into the void and kept going. You've felt the fear and still moved forward. You've been alone in your mission, and yet you never quit. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not talent, not luck, but the decision daily, hourly, moment by moment to show up like your future depends on it. Because it does. It always has. So build your habits like weapons. Sharpen your discipline like armor. Treat your time like gold. And treat your attention like life itself, because that's what it is. The world is loud, but your purpose must be louder. Drown out the noise. Lock in. Focus like your legacy depends on it. Because it does. When the morning comes, don't just wake up, rise. Rise with purpose. Rise with fury. Rise with vision so sharp it cuts through distractions before they even begin. The world wants you docile, average, soft. But you weren't born to blend in. You were born to lead, to stand up, to walk into rooms and shift energy, not absorb it. So don't just train your mind to be tough. Train it to be unshakable, unstoppable, laser focused. Because when the world feels uncertain, the most dangerous man is the one who knows exactly where he's going. That's you. You've mapped the mission. You've burned the fallback plan. You don't flinch at resistance, you invite it. Because resistance is how you grow. Discomfort is how you evolve. And pressure, that's how you become the person you pretend to be in your daydreams. No more pretending. No more wishing. No more waiting. This is it. This is the hour you decide to become undeniable. And you don't owe anyone an explanation for that. This is your mind, your mission, your move. Make it count. No more delays. No more asking for approval. No more shrinking to fit into spaces you've outgrown. It's time to move like you believe it. Time to walk like it's already done. Time to act like the future is watching. Because it is, and it's waiting for you to catch up. Let's go. No retreat, no doubt. Only forward, only now. The future doesn't wait for the hesitant. It bends for the bold. Be bold, be precise, be relentless. Most people wait for the world to give them a sign. A perfect moment, an invitation. But the truth, winners don't wait. They decide. They move before they're ready. Because they know clarity doesn't come before action. It's earned through movement. Through momentum, through doing the hard thing anyway. And while the masses hesitate, you strike. Not because it's easy, but because you were forged for this. The pressure, the unknown, the risk it wakes you up. It doesn't scare you, it focuses you. Because deep down, you've always known something others missed. That the life you want doesn't respond to hope. It responds to demand. To energy, to presence, to execution. So today, don't walk like someone with something to prove. Walk like someone with nothing to lose. Because when you move like you belong, the world adjusts. Doors open, resources appear, people follow. But none of it starts until you move. So make the move. Burn the hesitation. Bury the fear. And rise into your role not just as a participant in life, but as a force, the kind that shapes reality. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. You were not born to blend in. You were not meant to shrink for comfort. Every challenge was an invitation, a test of your will, a call to sharpen your edge. So stop asking for permission. Stop checking if others approve. You've spent enough time dimming your light to make others feel comfortable. Now is the time to amplify it, to take up space, to own your truth, because no one will hand you your power. You have to claim it through every decision, through every discipline, through every morning you rise before the world. There is power in discipline, power in the quiet hours of work no one sees. And while others sleep, you build. While others scroll, you sharpen. While others doubt, you declare. You say, "This is mine. This is what I'm made for." And then you prove it. Not once, every day, until your reality bows to your conviction, until your dream is undeniable, until your name echoes because your work demanded it. This is how legends are made, not by waiting, not by wishing, but by owning every second, by standing firm when it's hard, by becoming unshakable. You are not here to survive the day. You are here to dominate it. So rise with purpose, move with fire, and leave no part of your potential unused, because nothing is more painful than potential wasted. You've come too far to hold back now. No turning down, no playing small, only forward, only impact, only everything you were meant to be. Keep going. You've only just begun. Look around. Most people are frozen, afraid of failing, afraid of being seen. But fear is not a signal to stop. It's the starting gun. It means you're at the edge of growth. And what do the bold do at the edge? They leap. They stop negotiating with fear. They turn it into fuel. Because fear is a compass. It points you to where the growth lives, where the power hides. And if you're brave enough to go there, you won't come back the same. You'll return sharper, stronger, clearer. But you have to choose discomfort. You have to step into the heat, because fire doesn't destroy the worthy, it reveals them. So if your path is hard, good, you're on the right one. Easy roads lead to nowhere. You weren't built for comfort. You were built for conquest. So trade your doubts for discipline. Trade your fears for fire. Trade your silence for action, because the clock is still ticking. And while most people waste their time waiting for the right conditions, you make them. You become the condition, the catalyst, the movement. That's what it takes. Not more talent, not more luck, just more courage, more execution, more belief in yourself than the world has in your limits. Let that be your standard. Let that be your identity. Unshakable, relentless, inevitable. Greatness isn't something you stumble into. It's something you build moment by moment, habit by habit. It's not earned on the stage. It's forged in silence, when no one's watching, when it would be easy to quit. But you stay. You work. You grow. Because deep inside there's a voice that says, you were made for more. And that voice, that's your truth. Not the doubts. Not the noise. The truth is in the quiet grind. The truth is in your discipline. The truth is in your refusal to fold. So don't just talk about goals. Live them. Breathe them. Let them shape your every step. Because goals without commitment are just dreams. And dreams without action are just illusions. But dreams with relentless execution, that's destiny. So today move like your future depends on it, because it does. Speak like your words build empires, because they do. Think like your thoughts write reality, because they are. Nothing around you changes until you do. And when you do, everything follows. Your habits shift. Your circle transforms. Your energy rises. And your results? They explode. So remember this. No one's coming to save you. But that's not bad news. That's power, because it means you never had to wait. The permission was always yours. The gate was always open. Now walk through it. and take everything with you. Take your doubt and turn it into action. Take your fear and turn it into fire. You don't need another plan. You need more commitment. You don't need approval. You need endurance. Because most people quit at discomfort, but not you. You rise through it. You become something else, a version of yourself they won't recognize. And that's the point. You didn't come here to stay the same. You came to evolve, to grow teeth, to become the kind of force that can't be ignored. So push, not tomorrow, now. When it burns, you're close. When it scares you, you're near the edge. And what's on the other side? Freedom, power, clarity. But first, you must become someone who can hold it, not with ease, but with grit. So every repetition, it matters. Every sacrifice, it builds. Every early morning and late night, it pays. The cost of greatness is paid daily, and today you're making another payment. Good. That means you're still in the game, still climbing, still transforming. So don't stop now. Break the cycle. Rewrite the code. Set a new standard. Because once your mind knows who you really are, there's no going back. There's a moment where the world expects you to bend, to shrink, to conform. But you weren't born for that. You were born to lead, to rise above mediocrity, to defy what's expected, because comfort never built a warrior. Silence never shaped a legacy. You have something inside of you that refuses to quit. Feed it. Protect it. Let it dominate. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you're becoming. So vote for strength. Vote for clarity. Vote for discipline. And when the pressure comes, smile. You were built for this. Every trial is just training. Every storm is just sharpening your blade. You are not here by accident. You are the result of resilience, of will, of vision. So don't let this chapter be written by excuses. Let it be written in bold ink, with fire in every word. This is your story. Write it with purpose. Write it with power. Write it like the world was meant to read it and remember your name. You've been told to wait, to slow down, to think smaller. But what if they were wrong? What if the limits they gave you weren't real? What if the box they put you in was never locked? You've been given a key, and that key is action. Massive, relentless, unshakable action. Because waiting never made a warrior, and shrinking never sparked a revolution. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to break patterns, to disrupt the ordinary, to crush the noise with clarity. The world won't hand you greatness. It only gives you opportunity. And you turn that into destiny. Every moment is a decision to rise or to remain, to build or to break, to believe or to retreat. But you already know what happens when you hold back. You've felt the cost of hesitation, the pain of silence, the regret of delay. So don't go back there. Not now. Not ever. You weren't made to tiptoe. You were made to charge, to move with force, to live with purpose, to execute with precision. You've got vision now. Match it with action. You've got desire now. Match it with discipline. Because motivation fades, but identity stays. Who are you when no one is watching? When the lights are off and the voice of doubt gets loud? That's the real test. That's where champions are forged. And you pass that test by showing up, by outlasting, by doing the work especially when it's hard, because anyone can show up when it's easy, but it's the ones who show up tired, discouraged, alone, that change everything. You have a choice. Let the world decide who you'll be, or decide for yourself. This is your turning point. The world may shout fear, but your soul whispers courage. Listen to that whisper. Nurture it. Grow it. Turn it into a roar that silences every doubt. You have work to do. So stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop explaining your dreams to people who stopped dreaming. Stop waiting for the world to approve your fire. Feed it. Live it. Burn so bright they can't ignore you. Because greatness, it isn't found. It's created in silence, in struggle, in persistence. Keep going. The world only remembers those who refuse to quit. The ones who rise while others sleep. The ones who build while others blame. The ones who act while others hesitate. Consistency is your weapon. Use it. Every repetition counts. Every small step compounds. The breakthrough doesn't come overnight. It comes from doing the unseen work again and again. When it's boring, when it's thankless, when no one claps. That's when transformation happens. So push through. You're not here for comfort. You're here for conquest. You're not here to blend in. You're here to become undeniable. Let discipline become your armor. Let focus be your shield. Let obsession become your strategy. This is a war for your future, and you're winning I-tone decision at a time because the world won't give you permission. You have to take it. Take your shot. Take your space. Take your mission seriously. You were called to more. Now act like it. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Daily. Relentless. Uncompromising progress. So show up again and again until they wonder how you did it, and you'll smile. Because you never stopped. You never listened to fear. You never waited for certainty. You acted, and that made all the difference. Every time you chose to keep going, you rewrote your story. You carved a new path, one paved in effort, lit by vision, fueled by belief, not borrowed belief, your own. The kind that grows in the shadows, the kind that isn't loud but lasting, because anyone can believe when it's popular. But you believed when it was personal, when it hurt, when no one clapped. That's why you're different. That's why you win. You don't need permission to shine. You don't need applause to act. You only need one thing: commitment. The type that doesn't fade. The type that shows up without motivation, because commitment is what builds empires. Not once, but daily. When it's boring, when it's silent, when the doubts scream louder than dreams, you hold the line. And that line, it leads to freedom, mental freedom, spiritual freedom, financial freedom, all of it earned. Brick by brick, layer by layer. So ask yourself, will you show up one more time? Will you rise when it's dark? Will you speak when your voice shakes? Because that's what changes lives. That's what moves mountains. You don't need more time, you need more resolve, more fire, more clarity. Because clarity silences confusion. And confusion is how the world controls you. Refuse to be confused. Decide who you are. Decide what matters. Then live it without apology. Because you're not average. You never were. You've just been distracted by noise, by fear, by expectations that were never yours. But now you remember what you carry, what you're capable of, what you were made for. And it's not mediocrity. It's not playing small. It's not explaining your fire to people stuck in ice. You were built for storms, for leadership, for impact. And no one has to see it, yet only you. You must see it first. You must move like it's already real. Talk like it's already yours. Work like it's already done. Because eventually, the world catches up to those who never stop. You're not here to prove them wrong. You're here to prove yourself right. That's a different kind of fuel. It burns slower, but it burns longer. Sustainable. unshakable, because you didn't build your belief on their praise. You built it in silence, with sweat, with setbacks, with rejection. And still you kept going. That's what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you unstoppable. And now it's your time to rise without resistance. No second guessing, no waiting, just action. Deliberate, precise, daily, forever. The world only responds to energy, and energy comes from clarity. So stop negotiating with your potential. Stop arguing with your calling. Stop watering down your passion just to make others comfortable. They'll catch you or they won't. But your purpose, it can't wait. It's bigger than comfort. It's louder than doubt. It's real and it's ready. So lean in, double down, go all in. With focus, with hunger, with no plan B. Burn the bridges that lead back to average. Burn the excuses that held you small. Burn the need to be understood. You don't need understanding. You need execution, clarity, conviction, consistency. That's your formula now. That's your fire. And every day you show up in alignment with it, your world changes. Not instantly, but inevitably, because energy compounds and obsession multiplies. So feed it, every hour, every day, until what you imagined becomes what you live, not someday. Now, you have work to do, so stop scrolling, stop comparing, start building. You have everything you need inside you. The only thing left? Move. Now, move with power. Move with certainty. Move with a vision so clear it makes fear irrelevant. You're not waiting anymore. You're not doubting anymore. You're executing. Relentlessly, religiously, unapologetically. This is your standard now. This is your moment. And no one, absolutely no one, is stopping you. Because the only permission you need is the one you give yourself. So give it and go. You were not born to play defense. You were designed to move forward. Every setback you've endured, every ounce of pain you've carried was preparation, not punishment. So stop questioning the path. Start owning it. Right now, this moment hits your opportunity. Not to impress others, not to check a box, but to become the version of you that fear tried to silence. And it starts with one decision: to stop waiting, to stop overthinking, to stop asking the world for permission to be great. Because no one is coming to crown you. You must crown yourself. You must rise like it's inevitable, because it is. Your vision wasn't random. Your fire isn't accidental. Your dreams weren't handed to you as decoration. They were assignments. And the longer you ignore them, the louder your regret will grow. So act, not someday, today, this minute. Before your doubts, gather momentum. Before your fears, learn how to speak again. This is the silence between who you were and who you must become. Break it with action. Now. The clock isn't ticking, it's screaming. Not because time is running out, but because potential is being wasted. Every excuse you buy into steals from your future. Every hesitation is a thief in disguise. And every time you play small to protect someone else's comfort, you lose a piece of your edge. This isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. It's about showing up fully in the life you were built for. So don't apologize for your fire. Don't shrink for approval. Don't quiet your ambition because someone else is whispering insecurity. Let them whisper. You were made to roar. And that roar, it's forged in repetition. Not just once, not just when it's easy, but every single time you want to quieten, don't. Every time your mind says, you're done, and you do one more rep, one more hour, one more push. That's the difference. That's what separates the average from the unstoppable. Not talent, not luck, relentless consistency, relentless belief, relentless action. Not when you feel like it, but because you said you would. That's the discipline the world fears. That's the rhythm of the elite, and it's yours. If you choose it, you're not behind. You're not too late. You're not underqualified. You're simply uncommitted until now. Because commitment isn't a mood, it's a decision. And decisions aren't based on feelings. They're based on vision. So what do you see? Do you see comfort? Or do you see conquest? Do you crave ease? Or are you hungry for expansion? You can't have both. Ease is a liar. It promises peace, but delivers emptiness. But growth? It hurts. It stretches. It confronts. And then it rewards. It builds you from the inside out. So if it's painful, good. If it's uncomfortable, excellent. That means you're in motion. That means you're breaking patterns that used to keep you predictable and safe. But safety never made anyone legendary. You must stop fearing the edge. Run to it. Lean over it. And then jump. Because the wings you're waiting for, they grow mid-flight, not on the ground, not in planning, in action, in courage, in chaos. So go. Messy. Scared, unready, but go anyway. Your life is not a rehearsal. This is the main event, and every scene is being written by your choices. So choose power, choose direction, choose discomfort that leads to evolution over comfort that leads to regret. Every giant started small. Every master began as a student who refused to quit. So stop waiting to feel qualified. You qualify yourself by stepping into the fire over and over again, until the fire recognizes you, until resistance stops surprising you, until the process becomes who you are, not what you do. That's how legends are made. Not through shortcuts, but through scars. Not through applause, but through silence and sweat. That's where your edge lives. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows you keep showing up in. Your habits are the architects of your destiny, and your discipline is your declaration to the universe that you're not here to watch, you're here to win. So rise, bleed for it, fight for it, but never ever back down from it. Because that thing you dream about, it's already yours, but only if you're willing to go get it. Understand this. You were born with everything you need, not some of it. All of it. But the world taught you to forget, taught you to doubt, taught you to fear your own power. Now, your mission is to remember the strength that was buried under be realistic, to remember the clarity that was blurred by opinions, to remember the fire that was smothered by routine. It's all still there, waiting for your command. So speak life into your goals. Speak energy into your days. Speak identity into your actions, because your words are blueprints, and your focus is fuel. Every excuse you eliminate clears the path forward. Every ounce of ownership you claim turns pressure into power. This is your evolution, not your breakdown. So stop retreating when it hurts. That's where the real growth lives. You're not falling apart, you're leveling up. This discomfort is your upgrade in disguise. So stop trying to escape it. Embrace it. Let it shape you. Let it forge you. Let it prepare you for the weight of the future you say you want. That version of you, the one who has it all. They're not on another planet. They're not gifted with some magical trait. They are simply the version who stopped hesitating. The version who traded distractions for discipline. Who chose habits that build rather than habits that numb, who got clear and stayed consistent. You are one decision away from meeting them, and every moment you stall is a moment they stay out of reach. So get uncomfortable on purpose. Wake up earlier. Speak with conviction. Train when no one is watching. Invest in silence. Read what challenges you. Surround yourself with people who make you stretch. Your environment isn't just a background. It's a blueprint, and it's either building you or burying you. So take control of what surrounds you. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to stop giving so much power to those who don't. This is your time. This is your rise. Act like it. You weren't made to be average. You weren't designed to coast. You are not here to tiptoe through life only to arrive safely at death. You are here to build, to break patterns, to raise standards, to demand more from yourself because the world needs more of your greatness, not less. This is your wake-up call, your reminder that the life you want won't arrive politely. It must be claimed, not by wishing, but by becoming, by doing the hard things without applause, by trusting the process when no one is watching, by keeping your word specially to yourself. So start today like it's the only shot you'll get, because it might be. Your breath is borrowed. Use it with purpose. Every action you take is a message to the future. So make it bold. Make it relentless. Make it unforgettable. This is not motivation. This is a mandate. Rise now. Move now. Become now. The world is waiting. And so is your legacy. One more thing. When the day ends and silence falls, you'll know, not by what you said, but by what you built. Let your effort echo louder than your voice. Let your actions write a legacy that can't be ignored. That's the goal. That's the standard. So raise it and never lower it again. Your mind is the master builder. What you hold inside, you will hold in your hands. So what are you building? Doubt? Excuses? Fear? Or are you forging strength? Are you rehearsing courage? Are you planting seeds of wealth, of greatness, of legacy? Because make no mistake, your mind is always building, even in silence, even in hesitation. It is constructing a future, one thought at a time. The question is, will that future be one you regret or one you revere? You have to choose your thoughts like you choose your friends, carefully, intentionally. Because some thoughts serve you and some will sabotage everything. And the difference is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers in the form of comfort. Sometimes it hides in the language of reason. It will tell you, take it easy. You've done enough. No one's watching. But greatness isn't born in those moments. It's murdered by them. So wake up, not just from sleep. Wake up from the lie that you are your limits. You're not. You're the one who creates the limits or tears them down. Build boldly. Decide now. What kind of life do you want? Not just in dreams. In action. In results. In the way your name echoes after you're gone. Because if you don't decide, the world will decide for you. And the world rewards the bold, not the passive, not the polite, not the ones waiting for permission. The world bows to those who demand more, from themselves first, then from everything else. So take the throne of your own mind. Rule over your thoughts like a king. Don't negotiate with fear. Don't argue with limitation. Replace it. Overwhelm it. Bury it under so much discipline, it has no room to breathe. That's how legends are made. They don't whine. They don't wonder. They work. Quietly. Violently. Without applause. They show up when they're tired. They grind when it's thankless. They go again when the world says stop, because something inside them refuses to settle, refuses to shrink, refuses to die unknown. And that something, that same thing lives in you, right now, waiting, but it's starving. And only action will feed it. So stop postponing your destiny. There's no right time, only now, always now. The enemy isn't failure. The enemy is comfort. Comfort makes you soft. It dulls your vision. It convinces you that surviving is the same as thriving. But you were not born to survive. You were built to dominate, to rise, to impact, to become the blueprint for generations to follow. But you can't lead if you're hiding. You can't inspire if you're imitating. You can't change the world if you're too afraid to change yourself. So become dangerous, not reckless, disciplined, sharp, precise, focused. Let the fire inside you burn brighter than any doubt around you, because the world will try to dim you. People will mock you. They'll say you're too intense, too ambitious, too much. Let them. The lion doesn't lose sleep over sheep, and neither should you. Let them stay asleep while you build your empire. Let them doubt while you design your destiny, because one day they'll ask how you did it, and all you'll say is, I refuse to quit. That's it. That's the secret. You refuse to stop. You refuse to shrink. You force the world to respect your name. Now keep going. There is no applause at 4 a.m. No praise for missed parties. No awards for saying no. But there's power in that silence. There's gold in that sacrifice. Because while the world sleeps, you're forging yourself. And every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose focus over comfort, you become someone no one can ignore. This is not about motivation. This is about identity, about knowing who you are and becoming who you must be. Because your goals are not suggestions, they are obligations. They are your debt to the future. You owe the world your greatness. So stop hiding behind average. You weren't designed for it. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out, to be remembered, to be the one who did it, not just dreamed it. And that takes more than talent. It takes obsession. It takes waking up when it's dark. It takes grinding when it's lonely. It takes standing tall when you feel broken. But it's worth it. Because one day, your discipline will become your freedom. Your pain will become your strength. And your story will become someone else's hope. So rise, every day, without excuse, without delay, without doubt. Because you were not meant for small things. You were meant for greatness. You don't rise by chance. You rise by choice. A choice to go further, to last longer, to endure more, and to expect better. Because the standard you accept is the life you get. So raise it. Raise the way you speak. Raise the way you show up. Raise the level of effort you bring into each hour. This is not a game. This is your legacy. And you don't rewrite your life in one move. You do it in 1,000 tiny wins. One decision, one step, one moment of courage at a time. So stack the wins. Stack the work. Stack the days until the world has no choice but to notice. But don't do it for them. Do it for the person staring back at you in the mirror, because you know what you're capable of. And more importantly, what happens if you never try. Don't become a ghost of potential. Be the proof that a single person with a clear vision and ruthless consistency can reshape reality. That's who you are. That's why you're here. Now act like it. Act like you were meant to win. Act like this is your one shot. Because it is. No more hesitation. No more waiting. No more hiding behind distractions. This is the hour. This is the edge. You either sharpen your blade now or watch your dreams rust away. Because greatness isn't convenient. It's carved from discomfort. It's sculpted in silence. It's built while no one believes but you. So believe louder. Work harder. Move faster. Think deeper. And never beg for approval. The world will catch up later. Let your work speak so loudly it silences everything else. Let your results crush doubt into dust. Because once you start acting like the winner you were meant to be, the world responds. Doors open. Opportunities find you. Not because of luck, because you earned it. Every bruise, every early morning, every tear you didn't let fall, it was all worth it. Now prove it. Prove that nothing can break you, that nothing can stop you, because this is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. So go, run through the doubt, tear through the fear, and don't stop until you reach it, until your life reflects what you've always known deep down. You were born to lead, born to shine, born to rise, born to leave the world better than you found it. So never lower your fire to match their comfort. Set the world ablaze instead. That's what you're here for. That's who you are. And remember this, when they laugh, let it fuel you. When they doubt, let it sharpen you. When they walk away, let it free you. You were never here to be understood. You were here to be undeniable. And you don't become undeniable by staying comfortable. You do it by outlasting the pain, by showing up when it hurts, by creating momentum even in chaos. The world bows to the unshakable. So become that. Be the storm. Be the standard. Be the example they never saw coming. Because once you rise, truly rise, they'll rewrite your story. They'll forget the silence. They'll pretend they always believed. Let them. You'll know the truth. You'll remember every lonely step, every invisible battle, and you'll smile. Because you didn't do it for them. You did it for the vision, for the mission, for the future. Now finish what you started. Go all in and never look back.